Today we're going to talk about some of the pros and cons of Westchase, Florida. Here we go. I'm Sam, and thanks for coming by the Living in Tampa channel, where we make videos about what it's like to live, move, invest, everything real estate in the Tampa area. And we would love to be your real estate choice. If you have any real estate specific needs, we would love to hear from you. Hop on a Zoom call, kind of map out your timeline and see how we can best help. Our phone number and email are right there on the screen and in the description down below. Today we're talking about Westchase, and if you missed the previous Westchase video, it kind of gets into more general stuff about the area. That's linked up above. I actually recommend watching that one before this one. This one's just gonna be pros and cons, and let's get right into it. We're gonna start with the cons. Con number one is prices. Home prices are actually pretty high in Westchase. I really think it has to do with the balance that this area achieves. It has a very planned suburban feel, and in the midst of that has very easy access to the city and easy access to the beach. Now it's about 30 minutes to each of those things, but that's still pretty easy compared to other areas that feel like this. Con number two, even though these houses are pretty expensive, a lot of them need updates. A lot of this area was built right at the beginning 2000s to 2007. So a lot of these places haven't been updated to modern things all the way. I'm in a neighborhood and the guy across the street just came out and turned on his sprinklers. I wonder if he was telling me to get out of here. Con number three, traffic. Now, right now, 10 o'clock in the morning, not a ton of traffic, but you do have very typical school and commute traffic in this area. People use Linebaugh, Countryway, Racetrack to get to other areas around Tampa. So those roads do just get pretty congested at times. Con number four, public schools aren't the best. So you would expect a suburban area like this that's really close to the city to have really good schools. But there are other areas like Lutz, Wesley Chapel, Odessa that have quite a bit better schools than Westchase. There are quite a bit more private options because you are so close to the city, and that is a good option in the area, but not everyone wants to go that route. Con number five is there's not much shopping. So what do I mean by shopping? A lot of people, when they're asking me about shopping nearby their house, they're actually thinking about grocery stores and necessities. In the Tampa area, no matter where you live, that stuff is really close to you. But if you're looking for more malls or things like that, in Westchase, you're gonna have to drive a little bit to those. The closest one's going to be Citrus Park Mall. And then as you go south and east of here, you have the International Mall, the West Shore Mall, which are nice places, but they're still not in Westchase. So I have that as a con here, but you might think of that as a pro as well. And then con number six, I've been asked this a bunch of times, no Whole Foods or Trader Joe's right here in this area. It's about 30 minutes away. There's one up in the Northdale area, and there's one in South Tampa, kind of the north side of South Tampa. But you're gonna have to drive to get to either one of those. All right, let's hop right into the pros. This area, pro number one, this area has a very planned feel. Now, that might mean it feels kind of congested in some areas, but it all feels very intentional, whether that's just landscaping that covers a major road, or it's that there's parks and schools and things planned into these neighborhoods. Or there's some open green space behind places or water or things like that. Number two pro that we already kind of talked about, why this area is so desired, is this kind of ideal access to city and beach. So if you want to be easy enough access to each of those things, this is kind of your area. That's pro number two. Pro number three is kind of hard to explain. I'm gonna call it the 626 vibe. This area, the zip code 33626, has its own little culture to it. Some of that's just kind of soccer mom culture, in my opinion. People like their area, they're proud of it. They want it to feel special and unique, but that is a good thing for some people. Number four, this is kind of opposite one of the cons we talked about of not much shopping. I think it's kind of a pro that the necessities are really accessible, but that the bigger shopping is a little bit of an arm's reach away. And what is arm's reach away? So Citrus Park Mall, you see here on the map, the International Plaza, the West Shore Plaza, even Hyde Park, all are somewhat accessible. Pro number five is that this area is developed. It's kind of done growing. They're not really tearing stuff down. There's not empty lots where they're building new things. This whole zip code is kind of developed. Now as you go on the outskirts of it, where it still feels a bit like Westchase, like in Odessa or in Town and Country or even in Citrus Park, there is some development going on. But this zip code is kind of done. And that's a nice feeling. And then the final pro here, Costco is just at the edge. So Costco's in Citrus Park, but it's just at the edge of Westchase, really like the road that divides the two areas. So that one's really accessible. These are just some pros and cons of the Westchase area. If you have any questions about the area, please don't hesitate to reach out. We'd love to hop on a call and see how we can help you. And if you missed the last Westchase video, just kind of a little Westchase overview, like why you might like Westchase, that's linked up here. Don't forget to check that one out. Thanks for coming by.